This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rapid Reaction Edition of MeowMix, a Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
And we're here to talk about the first round pick of the Carolina Panthers in the 2020 NFL Draft.
With the 7th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Derrick Brown, defensive tackle, Auburn.
Derrick Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn.
Another hog
thoughts?
molly for us.
Yeah, I know. It's like Debbie Gilman never left.
Well, I mean, considering we only had one on the roster besides him before this pick, I mean...
Definitely a position of need. Yeah. I saw somebody tweet, like, if the Panthers were drafting for need, they'll take Brown. If they're drafting best player available, they'll take Simmons. But Simmons also would have been a position of need, and I think arguably you could say Brown is, the more talented player. I mean, it just kind of depends. Simmons can do different things, but what are your initial feelings about the pick?
It's who I thought we were going to pick at the beginning of the draft process, after, free agency and everything. And it's stuck. It's still the same way. I see it why. I mean, we are awful against the run. We gave up 5.2 yards per carry, averaged 143 yards a game, just up the middle basically on us. This guy's supposed to help that. Him and KK. Speaking of KK has struggled since Darla Tulele left. And with Derrick Brown and KK there, and then Brian Burns on the outside, that's shoring up that defensive line so people won't be able to run against us. And hopefully get Burns around the edge, and obviously we're going to have to go get somebody else. I don't know anybody else on our roster right now.
I have a feeling, but after the next couple of days, we're going to have some additional players on that defensive line. No, I agree. I think, it's sometimes easy to forget just how bad our run defense was last year, and this is an immediate help. I know it's not the flashy pick that maybe a lot of us hoped, especially when we saw that Simmons was still available. I know a lot of people wanted Simmons, and I was one of them. I wanted Simmons too. But I think our team is better, right, than it was before this pick.
And
much
not only
better.
that, Derrick Brown could be that Sue type of Gerald McCoy type of player too. That's what people were actually comparing him to before he was drafted by us.
Yeah, I saw someone. Go ahead.
And you put that in the middle of the defense. That's an anchor. I can't tell you right now because it's the first pick, but you typically want to build that offense and defensive line first. And since our defense is basically no one right now, I mean, there's nobody there, I figured that's what they're going to try to do. They're just trying to build it up, and then they'll kind of work their way out.
Yeah, and, the more I thought about it, with Matt Rule bringing in Tahir Whitehead as a linebacker, that's one of his guys. That's a Temple guy. He's going to give that guy every possible opportunity to succeed. So Simmons probably was never going to be the pick. But yeah, I mean, Brown, it's not sexy, but the guy is huge. And I saw someone, another comparison to him was Chris Jenkins, who we all know here in Carolina, who was amazing before he, got hit by the injury bug. I mean, 2-time All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler, was with us during one of the Super Bowl years. He, if we get that kind of production out of this guy, then worth the 7th pick easily. So I'm pretty excited about it.
I mean, there's not many human beings built at 6'5", 326 pounds.
Can you imagine? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone in person that big.
No, I don't. No, that is a lie. I actually saw the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, one time when I was 16 or 17 years old working at a restaurant. And
Was he
walked
6'5"?
in. Reggie White was huge. Okay, now we are going to look this up just because.
Yeah, I don't know if Reggie White was 6'5". Let's see, Reggie White. You're right, he was 6'5". Wow.
So, that's the only guy I've probably seen. And, 16, 17-year-old. I remember him having to duck to get into the doorways of the restaurant.
Yeah.
But real quickly, on NFL.com, they have draft guys' strengths and weaknesses that are out typically before they're drafted. I just want to go over his weaknesses because his strengths are so long. Average
Okay.
knee bend. Doesn't have upfield stride and quickness for playing in gaps. Plays past his toes, creating imbalance. Needs to keep work on sinking hands and feet as a rusher. Almost all this stuff is basically workable. I mean, just little get into with a good coach and have him, work on his technique. Now, strengths, elite combination, size, strength, and big man athleticism. Able to play.
Can't teach that. You
No.
can't teach that.
Able to play up and down the line in odd and even fronts. And from what I'm guessing, we're going to probably mix up our fronts here.
we
Instant
should.
snap reaction propels him into blocker's frame with pop, quickness, and power to ruin a reach block. Uses upper body power and hands to lift and leverage blockers consistently. This guy's just a beast. Just a human beast out there.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm just kind of looking at the ESPN analysis here. They had him ranked number 3 overall in their, player rankings for the draft. So getting him at 7 is good value. And then they mentioned, of course, ranked 29th in rushing per game, which we mentioned earlier. I mean, just this offseason, we lost McCoy, Dontari Poe, and Vernon Butler, your favorite guy. If we come back next year with a healthy K1 Short and Derrick Brown, that's an upgrade. That's a massive upgrade on that defensive line. So also the fact that he's a great run blocker will help the linebacking core. That's going to help Tahir Whitehead and Shaq. So I know the one knock on him was that he wasn't a great pass rusher.
No.
So,
but that's
hopefully
fine.
he can work on that,
And that's fine. KK's our pass rushing defensive
that's
tackle
true.
most times. Because you need what Derrick Brown will do is take 2 guys, get KK single, and then that way KK can be his guy and get down in the middle.
Yeah. KK could have his best season because of this guy.
Yes, absolutely. Again, he has struggled since Star Lotulelei left, and that's what Star was. He was that guy that would eat up those blockers.
Well, I don't know really what else to say about Derrick Brown other than welcome to Carolina. I mean, we're excited to see you play. Don't really expect the Panthers to trade back into the first round tonight, so I think this will probably be our only pick today.
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
I completely agree with that. I probably won't be going to bed. I'll probably finish watching the draft.
Yeah.
But if they do, that's going to be a difficult late night.
Let me ask you, are you surprised that the Panthers didn't trade back?
No, I am not. I think Derrick Brown or Isaiah Simmons, but I'm more leaning towards Derrick Brown. I think they're Pro Bowlers. I think they're perennial Pro Bowlers, and you want that guy on your team. He may not be a Pro Bowler right away just because this defense it's still going to suck. He's not going to turn around this defense with how many holes they have. But I feel like he's going to play at a Pro Bowl level.
Yeah, well, it was, certainly, like we said, it was a position of need. We are better because of it. Looks like I think if I had to guess, Justin Herbert being taken by the Chargers really messed up any opportunity we had to trade back. I feel like if there's a quarterback sitting there, there would have been more, desire to move up to that spot to take him. I don't even know how much there really was interest in trading up to 7. Simmons was still available.
Yeah.
Congrats to the Cardinals for getting him. It looks like the first receiver just went, and it's Henry Ruggs III.
Ooh.
So Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb both still available. That's interesting.
And I like both of them better, but
yeah, that's a Raiders pick. No trades so far this first round, which is surprising to me.
I mean, maybe some of the older GMs and stuff like that are a little nervous to do like Skype calls to other GMs. They're like, I don't know how to do this.
I'm wondering how much that is affecting the lack of. I don't want to say the lack of excitement, although there isn't a lack of excitement, but the lack of movement. Like you said, with the trades and everything. I don't know if it's the fact that they don't want to Skype each other, but maybe just being kind of home in their pajamas and. Dave Gettleman putting on his mask in his own house. That was kind of weird.
It's Dave Gettleman.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought that there would be a lot of movement in the draft. There usually is. There's a lot of trades, but I don't know. We'll see. But, all right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this rapid reaction. We'll be back tomorrow with the second and third round picks. I expect maybe some movement tomorrow with the Panthers in terms of trading back.
I think they should. I mean, they need so many positions trading back and getting some more picks. Yeah. But who knows? I'm not fully understanding the rebuilding process, the way Rule and Herney have started this. So hopefully after this draft, I get a better vision.
Yeah, well, I think, it's something that we really haven't gone through in quite a while. So, it's uncomfortable for us to see our team making decisions that don't immediately look like they're improving the team, I guess. So
Derrick Brown pick is improving this team.
For
but
sure.
There's still so many holes that don't even look like they've attempted to put any depth or into. So hopefully corner, edge rusher, another linebacker, we can grab those guys in the draft or after the draft with some late free agent guys.
Well, we'll see. I mean, both you and I went with Derrick Brown for our first pick in our mock that we did last week. So far, they're following our plan, even though you had traded back to get him. I think we're still I'm happy with the pick.
Oh, I'm happy too.
I'll say
I
that,
don't think if you're not happy, I don't know what you're expecting. I guess you could be wanting Simmons or somebody else, but Derrick Brown's a great player. Simmons, will probably be a great player, but
Simmons looks amazing. I really don't think the Panthers could have gone wrong with Simmons, Brown, or trading back. So
no.
I was prepared to be happy with whatever they did, and I'm happy with it.
Yep.
So, cool. All right. Well, we will be back tomorrow. Any feedback or anything, you guys hit us up on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast or email mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. Until tomorrow, keep pounding.